Last night, 4 RAF Typhoons took off from Cyprus to drop bombs on military sites in Yemen, in response to several Houthi attacks on shipping in the past week. American Super Hornet jets flew from the USS Eisenhower. There were 18 targets in all, but the Houthis have only repeated that their attacks will continue until Israel's siege of the Gaza Strip is lifted. And there's no sign of that. Israel's military commander, Herzi Halevi, was in northern Gaza this weekend, awaiting orders. Either invade the southern city of Rafah against America's wishes, or wait until Hamas agrees to release some of over 100 hostages. Either way, Israel's prime minister says Rafah will be invaded.
We're not going to give it up. If we have a deal, it'll be delayed somewhat, but it'll happen. If we don't have a deal, we'll do it anyway. It has to be done because total victory is our goal, and total victory is within reach. Not months away, weeks away, once we begin the operation.
In the meantime, 70 of Rafah's newborn babies are being kept alive in just 20 incubators. The doctors say most of them were born in tents to Palestinian mothers who had fled the fighting. And either there or here, stopping them from dying is not easy.
In one shift now, 2 or 3 die. In normal times, in 1 month in the incubator section, 1 or 2 used to die. But now we lose children every day. And their only crime is that they live in Gaza.
Israeli troops have captured more Hamas weapons and ammunition. But Palestinian officials say almost 30,000 people have been killed, most of them women and children. And though American diplomats are pushing for a temporary ceasefire, neither they nor the Israelis sound optimistic.
It is true that the representatives of Israel, the United States, Egypt, and Qatar met in Paris and came to an understanding among the 4 of them about what the basic contours of a hostage deal for temporary ceasefire would look like. And we hope that in the coming days we can drive to a point where there is actually a firm and final agreement on this issue, but we will have to wait and see.
Hamas started out with just crazy demands, and you know, it's too soon to say if they've abandoned them, but if they do abandon them and get into what you call the ballpark, they're not even in the city, they're in another planet. But if they come down to a reasonable situation, then yes, we'll have a hostage. I hope so.
In the absence of that deal, Palestinians are starving, cooking a weed known as common mallow in the absence of bread or rice. Israel's economic blockade preceded this latest war, so even the release of hostages does not guarantee an end to Gaza's misery.